Good evening. This is Carolyn Muncie. I'm so glad as you come on that you join me. And I have been actually away from my home for the last 2.5 weeks. And so I've been busy and I got home and I thought, what am I going to do for my life? And I walk in and I have some paints that came from Prima, and they are the Impasto paints, and I want to show you. You can kind of see them as on my table as I've just got an array of these. As you come on, you guys, tell me who you are and where you're from. Let me know that you're watching. But these are Impasto paints, and that's what we're going to use tonight. That is what I'm going to paint our apron from Redesign. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit. It's summertime, right? We're going into summertime. Many of us are, now that the thrift stores are open, we're excited. We're going in. We're catching treasures. And I want to encourage you that Prima has so many products, you guys, that's going to change these flea market finds into treasures that either you can give as gifts or you can put in your booth or into your brick and mortar. And there's so many products. I wanted to show you a few of the things that I picked up. I've got a jewelry chest here that I'm going to be working on. And that is going to be totally transformed. It won't even look like the same jewelry chest. And let me see if I can find the jewelry chest that I'm hand painting right now. And this was like $3 or $4 at a thrift store. And you can kind of see, hi Ann, how are you? You can kind of see I'm hand painting this to make this into a gift for a friend of mine. And I am too. I'm glad I got back. I was ready to be home after being gone for like 18 days. I was with my son in Austin and then came home and I had a vacation plan. I hadn't planned the trip to Austin, but anyway, it was awesome to be with my son. You know, as your kids grow up and they take their own little path, it's great to be able to visit them and be part of their life. So anyway, I'm home now, ready to get back in and really tear into work. So, you know, you take a $3 find here and you can use the Prima transfers, and absolutely, this is a new one, Violet Hill, and you can absolutely remake those. And I don't want to spend a whole lot of time. I'm going to be on next Friday night, and then I'm going to be on the 15th. Every Friday night those 2 Friday nights in June at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So you guys want to come and join me because we're going to be redoing some of these flea market finds. Here's a beautiful candlestick. What can you do with that? You can take this and you can put molds on it. And all of us have seen that. You know, but at the same time, start looking at flea markets. I mean, this was $16 brand new, right? And I got it for $1.50, you guys. And so I can totally remake this. See that crown? I can use the metallic paints from Prima to absolutely transform these. These are the things that we want to do. And one of the things that I will be transforming, maybe we'll do this on a live, wouldn't that be fun? And totally transform this old Samsonite carry-on case, right? We could put paints in it. Hi, Braz, how are you? We could do all kinds of stuff. Hi, Lena, how are you? So we're going to do a lot of stuff in these 2 nights in June that I have, so I hope you join me. But tonight, I got a really nice apron from Prima. And I tell you what I like about these aprons is that it has a string, and so you can adjust the neck to however you are. We're all built different, right? And so I think this is really neat because you can adjust your ties. It ties around your back, of course, but you can adjust your neck to wherever it fits good with you. And so I've done a lot of aprons, and I absolutely love them, but I really, really like the way this one is made from Prima, and I'm going to bring you guys down. This one, I think, unless someone nabs it from me, this one I think I might keep, right? So we all need to keep something that we paint, right? And I wanted to mention too that I wanted to show you guys this. Here is a kit from Prima of the Impasto paints. And it has white, black, it has a green, cobalt blue, poppy red, and let's see, lemon, I can't see what that says. Lemon peel. So here in this one set, you say, well, I can't afford all of the colors. Well, you don't have to have all of the colors to start with. You can add them in as time goes on. But this comes in a set, you guys, and I wanted to show you, I've got some of these colors on my palette. I've got the cobalt, I've got the poppy red, I've got the black, the white. And so before we got on here, and the yellow peel is kind of right here. So what I did was I have those primary colors, and then you've got your white and you've got your black, all in this set. And so all you got to do is buy this set, and you can do anything you want to do with it. You can make any color you want to make. So what I did was I took these primary colors, and I hope it comes out, but I made orange out of the red and the yellow. I made a dark green out of the blue and the yellow. I made the purple out of the red and the blue. And then you can also, let me see. Yeah, I did the green. So anyway, you guys, you don't have to have every single color to start out with. Now, you'll get hooked on them because I absolutely love the Impasto paints. You will get hooked on them, and you will want to order a bunch more of the paints. But you can start out with that set. It's inexpensive, and it's just a great set. So as you guys come on, oh, I love you too, Marcel. I love you so much. You're so precious. So as you guys come on, these also are brushes, and they're really cool. They've got these little detailed things, like you can do like a drag with these. I mean, they're really cool, and I love the quality of these brushes. So those are kind of what I'll be using tonight. So we're going to work on this fabric, on this apron, and some of you may have never worked on fabric before. If you've never worked on fabric before, let me know, because there is a learning curve to fabric. And the thing that you have to do with fabric is you've got to get the fabric wet, because you get more of an effect of a watercolor effect a lot of times when you're working on fabric. You know, now if you're painting on a canvas or you're painting on your furniture, it's totally different, honestly, in my estimation, of working on fabric. You have to just kind of allow it just for you to learn. I mean, because, you know, the first time I ever painted on fabric, you guys, was just a couple months ago. I've got a couple chairs I got to do, but I never got it done. So anyhow, I am probably only going to use a few colors here. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you. It was really awesome. It was restful. It was fun. We had a lot of rain, but we still had fun in the rain, right? But I did get a few days in the sun, so that's all that mattered at the beach, right? So I've got it prepared. It's wet, not real wet, just kind of damp. And then I'm only going to use a few colors, you guys, and I want to show you how important a background is. A lot of times, you know, when you're painting your pieces and you see these pieces and you think, oh, I love the flow of that. And the reason why you do is because they've done a lovely background most of the time, and then they've added to that background. Hi, Lynn, how are you? So anyhow, I'm going to dip into my white, and these are the impasto colors. And I am going to do a little bit of a background. I know that I want this right here, and I hope you guys can see. I want to make sure you can see. If you have any questions, you guys put them in the comments. Sometimes when I'm working, I can't see your questions. I try to keep a veil to it, but sometimes I don't. So I get busy working. So I know that in my background that I want to work at, I wanted to include some light areas here. And that what makes a beautiful background is the contrast between lights and darks. And I know that I'm going to go into, it's called Manor Blue. It's still an impasto color. And I'm just going to kind of try to sketch out what I want and what I think is going to go on in my painting, right? And this will be, might not get it finished in the time that we have, but that's okay. I'll keep working on it until I do get it finished. And you can kind of see that as I work on this fabric, that's kind of a little bit, I'm going to scoot you guys in just a tad. That's a little bit of a hard line right there, isn't it? So I'm just going to come in with water, and that's the great thing. That is your background. That is the way that you make an acrylic paint, and that's what impasto colors are, is you use water, and that is your agent in which to thin them. So I'm going to come in here, and I want to create a little bit of light here. So I'm coming right in with the white. And I want to have some dark areas because the dark area is going to show my shadow. So I'm going to come back in here with this blue color. And I'm going to go as quickly as I can. And I want to show you guys, honestly, that as you work with your colors and as time goes on and you get familiar with working with whatever medium you're working with, is that you don't have to spend hours and hours and hours and hours to create a beautiful finish. You know, it's not rocket science, but it is practice some, and it is the desire. I always say if you will pick up your paintbrush and start working, that is probably 80% of your challenge. Because once you start working and once you start learning techniques and stuff, then all of a sudden you are painting and you're going, wow, I can't believe that I painted that, right? So as I go on, you're going to see what this is. I'm going to come in here with the cobalt, and I want to lay me in some darker colors right here. And I'm going to kind of let them bleed in a little bit. You can just kind of see them just lightly bringing those in so those colors don't stay. And let's say that you wanted this to be lighter, then all you do is you come back over into your white and add your white back in. Maybe I want that a little lighter through there. Okay, and so I'm going to go back here and I'm going to work on the background of this. I'm coming in with linen. It's kind of a creamy, a real pretty creamy, almost the color of this, but it's just going to add a little bit of interest, because this is already kind of cream, but you can kind of see it's just adding just a little bit of interest. And I'm going to go fast, you guys. You aren't going to believe how much we're going to get done in this time frame. So I'm going to keep kind of wetting a little bit of my background, because I want these colors to mingle, and what this does, the adding the water, it causes, making sure you guys can still see, it causes these colors to be able to mingle. And I'm making a background as I go along, and it's mostly going to be just a few colors, you guys. It's not going to be a ton of colors. I wanted to choose almost a monochromatic scheme so that you think, oh man, I could do this. And you can just kind of see, I'm making a little bit of a background here, and down here I want it to be a little darker, because if the sun was coming in and on this, then this down here would be a little darker, right? All right, and then up here I want to add a little bit of lighter blue. And so all you have to do is you can take this color that we've already used, water it down a little bit, and maybe add a little bit of white. And you're going to get another light color, and then there's another light blue right there. And I think I want to bring that up here, and it's got a little pocket. Let me pull that up a little bit. I want a little blue through here, over here. Let me pull this up a little bit so you guys can see, and I'll back you up just a tad bit. And you're going to see that there's a little pocket right here. You see that pocket right there? So I hope that you can see by now that this is kind of a vase, right? And I'm going to start building. I'm going to go above that pocket a little bit, and I'm going to start building up here on this pocket. I know exactly what I want to go on those pockets. And I'm just using the cobalt blue. I'm not being very fussy with it. Let me see if I can find my water bottle. You always have to have your water bottle next to you. And I'm not going to be real fussy with it, you guys. I'm going to let these colors mingle as they go. I want this to be bright. I want it to be colorful. And it's not going to be a whole lot of different colors. You guys have seen me where I do all the florals and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to come into the black a little bit. I'm just going to move this around a little bit, and then I'm going to spray it, and I'm going to allow that water to be used. Can you see how that makes that mingle? Let me get you guys up a little closer, maybe. You can see how that makes you mingle, makes it mingle in, and just makes it look like a nice background. Now, if you're working on canvas, it's a totally different feel, right? So I want to layer in right here. I want to put in some really, really pretty florals right here. That's going to come out of my vase and come up here. So we've laid kind of a little bit of a background. We'll work with it a little more as we go. But I want to come down here. And I want to lay some shadowing. Let me get down here where you guys can see. I want to lay some shadowing down on my vase, and you can just kind of see I kind of spritz it after I put it on there, because that's going to allow that to blend in, and I hope you guys can see that. Okay, then I'm going to come up here. I'm just going to put me a center right here. You say, well, that just looks like a big black blob. Yep, that's because that's what it is. And then I'm going to maybe put one over here. And I'm going to start laying in the bases for my florals. I might even want one coming down here, one of these coming down here. Maybe another one. Let me see. You guys can see. Maybe another one like this. And you say, well, Carolyn, why are you doing that way? Tell you the reason why is because the way that you build depth and the way that you build a feeling of far and near, and you know, feeling of perspective is your shadowing. So now I'm going to grab me a smaller brush. Let me see if I can find me a smaller brush. I thought I'd put them all in here. All right, and just a little, just 1/2 inch artist brush. And Prima carries 1/2 inch artist brushes, you guys. I'm going to go into the cobalt. Right now, they don't have any, or I would have them. They're out of stock, I think. But I'm going to come in here. See this dark blob right here? I'm going to come in with my cobalt, and I'm going to work that. And I'm just going to work that around, just like this. And you say, well, that doesn't look too hard. It's not. I just, honestly, with Ransomed Relics, that's my Facebook page. If you haven't liked it, go and like it. I have just started an online painting classes, and I teach you how to achieve a lot of different things. I'm so excited about it, and it's so much fun. We're having a blast in there, so you can go maybe check that out. I've also got a link down here if you want to check it out at the top. And I'm going to come around here, and you can kind of still see how that's kind of adding a little bit, and I'm going to bring you guys in so you can see a little more detail of what I'm doing. Let me see what you guys are saying. Janet, thank you for watching. What is the painting supposed to look like when you're done? Well, you'll see. You will see. Just hang in there with me, right? I'm going to go back into the linen, and I'm going to add a little bit of a center. These are very impressionistic flowers. And you can kind of see as I'm just blending it, I'm letting it do what it wants to do. It's bringing life to that center, isn't it? And then I'm going to go in with that lighter blue, and I'm going to add the white here, and then I'm going to bring these florals, and I'm going to make them stand out a little better. You know, and you can just kind of see, you guys, that you start, for me, I start with dark, and I head toward the light. That's what I do, because I feel like I build dimension as I start dark. And you can just kind of see these flowers start to take shape, right? And I'll go into the white. I always, a lot of times, double load my brushes, and you can just kind of see they're just coming out. But I don't want to all the way cover up my cobalt down there, right? I want that to look layered. And I want this flower to look like there's just a lot of different things going on. I'll come back with my cobalt and add some dark looking things coming through here. And they're going to come down a little into this black, right? I'm gonna just go like that. Okay, so now let's go up here to this black blob, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come in here with this cobalt. We're going to work that cobalt. Let me get this other brush. It'll make it faster. I'm going to work that cobalt all the way around. This flower might go a little bit on that flower, right? Because they're in a big vase, and they're all coming out, and there's all kinds of them that's going to be coming out. Now I'm looking at my time. I'm going to go in here, I'm going to make that a little, look like it's a little more defined as the end, and we'll just keep bringing in darks, lights, darks, and each flower may look a little different, and that's okay. It's totally okay. And you can just kind of see as we're going, I'm going to allow this to go out where that pocket is. And this one's kind of big. I'm going to come back in with my light color. I'm going to spray this a little bit, make sure that I'm working a little bit with the wet so that my colors move and they don't look, and you can just kind of see as those petals come around on the other one, and then these petals are going to come up on here, right? And you're building depth, and you're building interest to your painting. I'm going to come back in. I'm going to come in with the white. I'm going to build a little bit of white. I think I'm going to build a little bit of white, and I want some of that white to look white, not to look blue, right? Painting is something to me that comes out of practice. It comes out of a love for art, and I feel like all of us who are in the painting or in the furniture business, or you know, or maybe you have a shop or a booth, or you know, and you're always looking for something to maybe do something a little different than someone else, whatever. When you learn to hand paint, what happens is a whole new world comes alive for you, you know. And the thing that I love about Prima products is that they give us that ability to make these come alive. Okay, let's do the same thing right over here. We're going to come in here, we're going to make our center, making sure you guys can see. And like I said, those of you who have just joined me, you can start at the beginning of this painting after we're through. Of course, stay with me now, but there's always replay. Isn't that wonderful? And if you can, please share this. Share this on your pages. See, now I'm just going right back over these. I'm giving us a layered look. And I'm not using very many colors. What? Maybe 4 colors. I'm using the cobalt, any lighter blue, a white, the black. And then as I add into here these, and all I'm doing is going like this. Is that hard? That's not hard, is it? And I want to bring these, and I would just add depth and add like this is just a bouquet coming out of here, and we're going to have flowers coming around here, and I will get as much done. I mean, we've done quite a bit in 30 minutes. 10 minutes of that was me just talking to you about products. But let's do this. Let's bring these in. Let's bring some white coming in. That's just coming in here. We're just letting this paint flow. We're letting it do the work, right? And you can just see how quickly these are coming to fruition. And I'm not working with it much. I'm not fussing with it. I'm letting this wonderful paint do its job. I love the Impasto paint, you guys. I love the texture of it. I love the thickness of it. It's easy to work with, I think, you know, and especially when you add the water to it. So already we've got these beautiful florals that 3 big ones. We've got a couple we're going to do down here because it's going to hang in. But let's get into our green. I'm going to dip into that green, and I'm going to dip into the brown. I'm going to double load my brush. You can see I've got some green, and I've got, let me get this over here. I've got some green, and I've got some brown. And I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to make us a little bit of greenery. And let me sit this up just a little bit so you can see. Here is our vase. We're going to add some greenery in here. And you can just see all I'm doing, you guys, is just little lines. I'm going to change brushes, and I'm going to go to a thinner brush. It's just a little craft brush. It's just a thin brush. I am going to dip it in water, dip it in the brown, dip it in the green, and then we're just going to kind of come out. We're going to have some little stems of flowers coming, or greenery coming down here. I'm going to go over here, and we're going to do, lift you up a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing right here. We're going to add a little bit of greenery, maybe some white in here. We're going to bring a lighter green over here, and I'm going to mix that green that we get in that 6, I think it's 6 or 5 piece set. I'm going to mix a little white with it, and we're going to do a little bit. Now, if I took my time and put about 3-4 hours in here, I could absolutely have it just stunning, you know. So, but what I want to show you is that it doesn't take a lot to add your own touches into things. And you can take something, come up with an idea, you know, maybe one of your loved ones loves pansies, or they love peonies, or they love roses, or, you know, whatever it is that they like. And it doesn't take a lot, you guys, just to make your pieces stand out. And with the Prima products, some of you say, I don't want to paint, I never want to paint. It's not something I'm interested in. Well, then you've got the beautiful, all of the beautiful transfers, right? And as you guys know, in previous lessons, I've taught you how to hand paint the transfers and even make the hand transfers look hand painted, you know? I mean, I just feel like it's such an easy products to use that it's worth getting involved in them and finding out about them. So you can kind of see already we're coming right to life, aren't we? So I'm going to come back up here, and maybe the green needs to come in here. So I had green in here, and so I just kind of got it wet because I want this background to look, you know, I want this to kind of fold down here in this vase, and we're going to bring a couple flowers here. You can just kind of see, I'm just letting it do its own thing. Isn't that awesome? Isn't it fun? You know, as Bob Ross used to say, you know, you can't make a mistake. You know why? Because you can always fix it, and it's happy mistakes, right? And we're just going to just allow the water to come in here and wet this paint and make this paint look just like a water paint, like it's, isn't that pretty? I think that's really turning out good. I'm real happy with it. I'm going to probably bring me a little more white down through here just to make, just so you guys can see that it's making this vase stand out. And you can see it's not hard. Just want to round that vase out, make that look dimensional, right? So let's go back here, and we're going to add Let me see. Let me get you guys back here. Let me scoot you back a little bit. Okay, so now let's see. Terry said, and I would pre-wash, and yes, you'll need to heat press. Yes, I was going to say that at the end. The way you set your paint, you can make acrylic paint into fabric paint, and the way you do it is you heat set it. And you do it with a dry iron. Don't do it with any type of water, you know, or steam coming out. And you heat set it, and you can wash it. I wouldn't dry it, but you make this acrylic paint appear like fabric paint, and so you're not going out buying fabric paint and buying this paint and buying that paint. It's all exclusive, you guys, and if you heat set it and then not dry it, you know, just let it air dry, it's going to last you for a long time, a whole long time. So we're going to go in here and we're going to make another flower. And this flower, let's make this like this. We're going to make it not like you're looking at it, but we're going to make it appear like it's sideways. So that means I'm going to bring this cobalt more in, right? And maybe these will be smaller. I'm going to spray it right here, making sure you guys can see. Spray it right here. And you don't want to wash this for a week after you paint it. You want it to really dry and be heat set. And it normally, I'm thinking when you heat set it, you want to use your iron very hot, and then you put like parchment paper over this, and then you heat set it. And it takes probably about 4 to 6 minutes, I would say. At least that's what I do. And I just let the, I'll take it and then I'll lift the iron. You don't just, you know, you just scoot the iron around and make sure, and then you can let it dry and let it away for a little while, and then you can come back in and do it again, you know, just to make sure that you heat set all of this paint. And then you can wash it and let it air dry. Isn't that awesome? So you can kind of see that flower's coming out here, and maybe we might want to make some more, make these a little larger. So it's fun, you guys, when you let your imagination go and you allow the artist in you to come out. And those of you who have not liked my page, please do so. Go there, like my page. You can see what I offer in my classes. And if you want to learn, this is a fun way to do it. Yay! So we're going to do a little bit on this one too of that linen. And you can kind of just see, you guys, I'm dabbing it. I'm not really working hard, because this is a very loose painting. Very, very loose painting. And I'm going to come back in with my cobalt. I'm going to bring my cobalt in. And there again, I want these to go over here, right? We want that to look like these petals are just going over here. Maybe there's a little flower right here, and you might not even see the center of it, you know, because it's behind here. Maybe you've got some coming this way, going that way. I mean, you let them go however your artistic eye shows you. You just let this go. Just blending that in. I'm bringing that to a background. I want that just to kind of go like that. Okay, now I think I want to add just a little bit of black right here. So I can add that center back in a little bit, and then I'll come back in with the linen and just kind of set that like that. All right, so let's move back up here again. And when I get done, I'll show you a backup. And you guys, we've done this in about 30 minutes. Isn't that awesome? And I want this background probably over here. And then I'm going to spray it. I'm going to let this work its way out. Oh, let me bring you guys over here. Sorry, I get to working and sometimes I don't look very well. So you can just kind of see. I'm just going to scrub this out because I want this to have a little bit of a darker background over here. And we're going to make this look like there's just a bunch of florals coming up here. How do we do that? All I'm going to do is I'm going to start coming in. I'm just going to add these little twiggies. They're going to start in places, end in places. Come over here. I'm just being free with my paint. I'm being free with the darkness, the light. I'm letting it kind of do what it wants to do. Right? Maybe that needs to go up some. Maybe this needs to be really dark right here. Just some dark petals through here. We're going to bring them out through here. And I'm being very free, you guys. I cannot stress that enough. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy because we think it's got to be perfect. And the way you make it is going to make it perfect. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to add highlight onto those dark with the light. And you can just kind of see I'm allowing those to work for me. And like I said, if you have questions, I will go back. I will answer every question that you have. And we're going to add some highlights over here. And you can just kind of see. And maybe we might want to act like there's maybe a center right here. Maybe there's a center right here. Maybe there's a center over here. We're not going to make them definite, right? We're just going to come in here and we're just going to allow them to be what they want to be. It's very loose, very easy. I'm going to add a little bit of there, a little bit of there. Just patting that on the top of it just to add interest. I love working with paint, and I'm not just saying this, but I truly love the Impasto paints. And I'll tweak that as, as time goes on. I'll tweak this around. Let me spray over here. Let's just add a little bit of this light blue color. And then I'll put a little on, then I'll mist it, and then that water on there just makes it look like a watercolor, right? And you can just kind of see we're just getting this fun floral looking look right here. Now down here I would like this to look a little more like, a little more like there's light coming in here. So I'm going to come up here and I'm just going to work real quick with a little bit of the white and a little bit of yellow. I'm going to come in here with a little bit of the shallow. I'm going to make it real light. Just real light. And you can see just a little bit of that light green coming in here, and it's just making this area look a little lighter. And it's adding some interest down here, right? I'm just going to almost scruff that in. Maybe add a little bit of paint or a little bit of water. And all this is a mister bottle that I've added water to. And that is our medium to make our paint be able to go farther. Maybe want to scruff a little bit of that light green in right here by this, because we can always go back over it. And that's the beauty of painting, is that, let's say I didn't feel like I had my background exactly right here. So I scruff that in, and that's getting to where I'm really liking it, and I'm feeling like that looks like there's more of a background here. But then what happened is right here, then I lost a little bit of my petals. So what am I going to do? I'm going to come in here and I'm going to re-add those petals. Add a little bit of definition there. And you kind of see now that's laying on top of that background. I'm going to do the same thing with my greenery. I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to add a little bit of that greenery coming up here. And you can see it's just, and then I want to come into this greenery and I want to add a little bit of light into that greenery so that it has depth. Okay. And I maybe want some little spriggies. We can kind of see over here, this area over here. You know, it's very undefined. But maybe I might want to come in here, and you guys can see, you can tell, I'm winging this. I'm just looking at it going, oh, maybe I'll do this. Oh, maybe I'll do that. You know, it's not set in stone. And that's the beauty of it, is that it's not set in stone. All you've got to have is your materials, and then your mind can go crazy. And you can do things you never thought you could do. You know, I mean, you see how easy this is, and you say, well, Carolyn, it's just because you're talented. Not really. It's just because I love art and I want to learn. And you train your eye. It's not so much talent. Art is not so much talent, but the willingness to have the patience to go in and try. That's what art is. It's the willingness to have the patience to go in and try. I want those to look just a tad bit more defined here. These centers. Okay, so we have done this in about 40 minutes, and now I'm going to back it up, because sometimes it's hard to see the full thing, isn't it? So I'm going to back it up. Okay, so now here is my apron. And you can just kind of see. You can see the vase. I'm trying to get this down where you guys can see it. You see the vase down here. You see the light coming in behind the flowers. And then you see just these very pretty flowers. And now, in about 40 minutes time, I've made a beautiful little apron that can be used in a lot of different ways, right? So I am going to turn this up now, and we've got maybe, let's see, we've got maybe 5 minutes. If you guys have any questions about it, how to get started, what to use, whatever your question is, just say it right now. Did you guys like that? Did you see how easy it is? Hey, Lynn, how are you? You're in my class, so you're cheating. Not really. But you guys, I'm just telling you, take the challenge. I challenge you. I believe everyone has an artist inside of them. And some people say, oh, I can't draw a stick person. Me either. I can't draw, but I can paint, and there's a big difference. And when you've got these type of products to use, you guys, and they're easy to use, they're accessible, you can do a lot of painting in just one of these little tubes. So I'm just telling you, explore your creativity, because I promise you it's in there. So this is our little thing that we did this week. And next week, hey Renee, thank you so much. Some of you that maybe didn't see it, let me show it one more time. We did this in about 40 minutes, and that's your whole ball of wax right there. I probably won't even tweak this very much, if at all. I'll probably just let it dry, heat set it, and then I've got a pretty apron, you know, and I did that in 40 minutes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Oh, let me show you maybe what we might do next week. Have you guys seen those real pretty things that sit on your table? They're like almost like a dough bowl, but they're not. This is what we're going to be working on next Friday night. And I'm thinking that that's the 5th of June. We're going to be working on that. And all this is, we made this, and all this is it's just a board. You did 4 sides, and then you put a thing on the back, just like this, you know. And we're going to make this with Prima products into a beautiful setting. I actually will probably use this in my daughter's wedding in October. So, to put things in, florals or whatever. So it's about 4 feet tall. So I think it's going to be pretty, you guys. So I hope you join me next week, and I hope you enjoyed this little expose on how to paint an apron. And you guys share this post, like my page, Ransomed Relics, and of course, open your mind to so many Prima products that you can use, because they will bless your life. I promise you that. So you guys have a great rest of your night, and I will see you next Friday night. Good night, you all. God bless.